Good afternoon. This is Brian Johnson, and this is take 2 of our yoga class. So welcome everyone. For anybody that's dialing in on the internet, glad that you're able to participate in today's practice. I'm Brian Johnson. I'll be guiding you through this practice and enjoy you taking time out of your busy schedule to come and to get in touch with yourself, with your breath, and also with all of the energy and the positive vibes of those that are practicing with you. So we're going to get started in just a moment. If you are able to, we're going to be spending some time on our mats today. If you have a knee condition, one of the tricks that I have always learned is to fold up your mat and to have a little more cushioning under your knees as one option. You could also take a towel or a yoga blanket, anything that will make your practice more comfortable. And let's get started on our knees in either an easy seat or in a yogi position where you're leaning back on your legs. If that's not reachable for you, then you can also just cross your legs in the front or put one leg over the other. But we're just going to start our practice coming in and getting in touch with our breath. So you can rest, you can close your eyes, you can put your hands down either upward facing on your knees to receive, or you can hold your knees for grounding. And let's take a deep breath in together. And exhale. Take another deep breath together. Hold it at the top. And exhale. Let's do that again. Take one deep breath together. Hold it at the top. And now exhale. And on the next deep breath, as you're breathing in, we're going to hold it at the top for a count of 4. And then we're going to exhale and squeeze all the air out. And also hold that down when at the bottom of your breath. Squeeze all your breath out. Now I invite you to close your eyes and to think about all of the things that brought you to your mat today or that were bothering you on your way here. So all of the to-do lists, all of the conversations, all of the things on social media, just think about them real quickly, and then before you let go of them, just consider wrapping all of those ideas in a bubble right above you. And on your next breathe in, you're going to inhale. You're going to grab all those things, and you're going to slowly just move them to the side as you exhale. All of that will be waiting for you after your practice. This is a time for you to focus on yourself and to get what you need from this moment we're going to spend together. And as you're focusing on your breath, I'd invite you to, on your next exhalation, to close your mouth and to begin to practice your Ujjayi breath. So as you close your mouth, you're going to restrict the area in the back of your throat, and you're going to make a rhythmic breath on the exhalation. Now, if you have an intention, something that you want to realize for yourself during today's practice, I invite you to set an intention. So as your palms are coming together and you add equal pressure into both palms, think about that intention. I am already free. I am walking in insight. Whatever your intention is, go ahead and name it for the moment. And on your next exhalation, bring your hands down, and we're going to come into a tabletop position. So on your mat, go ahead and put both knees on the ground. Allow your hands to come underneath your shoulders. As you're breathing in, tuck your belly and allow your lower back and your spine to tuck under. On the exhalation, breathe out and squeeze your abdomen and your lower belly together. And hold that within your torso as you're going through these warm-up exercises. We're going to do things very easily and slow and warm up the spine, so no need to exert yourself to the highest level. We're just going to ease our way into it. So as you're warming up into your tabletop, it may feel good to rotate your hips forward and backwards in coordination with your breath. So as you breathe in real slowly, leaning forward, and as you breathe out, allowing your hips to come back and get that mobility and that movement. So let's practice that together. A deep inhalation on the way in, remembering to hold your shoulders back towards your tailbone. Your shoulders are sliding down your back. And exhale on the way out. Breathing in. Breathing out, and at the end of your next exhale, go ahead and switch to the other side. So breathing in, coming from your left, going towards your right, breathing out, breathing in on your rotation. Whatever you do in today's practice, you do it to the flow of your breath. You do what's comfortable for you. At any time, you don't need to worry about what others are doing. You don't need to consider how your last practice went. Your body is in a different state today than it was, and we are going to be open to ourselves. We're not going to have judgment for how we feel. Just do what is right for you and for your body, and to follow your breath. Now, as you come to the end of your last breath, go ahead and stabilize yourself on the ground. We're going to allow our crown of our head to grow long as we reach our tail back, and we're going to start with some miniature baby walking tabletops. So pushing your hands down into the earth and with a firm belly, pulling your belly button into your spine. Go ahead and raise your left knee just slightly off the floor and your right hand at the same time. Hold that for a breath and lower it back down. We're going to do that on the other side. So as you're breathing in, your left hand and your right knee are coming up. And I want you to feel the balancing nature of your body that's kicking in to allow your body to warm up and to see that things are going in opposite directions, but your core is remaining strong. So we're going to walk this tabletop out a few more times on your each breath. Raise the hand up, lift the opposite knee. And on your way down, lower, relax, and move to the other side. For anyone that wants a little more of an advanced warm-up, you can also fully extend your back leg with the coordination of your opposing hand and bring those down. So a bit more of a bird dog movement to where you're pointing with one hand in front of you, while your reverse leg is on the other side. And what I would encourage you to do is, as you're extending with your left hand up and your right leg back, bring your shoulder into the socket while your sit bone and your hip is also pulling that back in towards your body. Lower down. On the other side, breathe up, lock in that shoulder and that lower sit bone, and then lower down. You guys have to move. You have to move. You have to move. Okay, let's do that a couple more times. Come up. Your head can be facing in front of you. Not too far front, but looking shortly in front of your mat, lowered on the ground. And remember to hold that belly in tight as you're warming up your back and your core, and you're getting ready for more movement. We're going to do this for about another 6 or 7 breaths. So go at your own pace. If you're still staying with that walking tabletop,
Remember, you want to squeeze your belly in on each time, keeping those shoulders down and back, and grounding the hand that's into the ground. Feel yourself pushing away the ground with that hand. That's where your strength and your balance is coming from. Okay, very good. So now we're going to step your legs back and come into a plank. Feel yourself pushing yourself stronger with the plank. So a plank is both of your hands remain under your arms and your shoulders with your legs to the back in a full elevated position. If this is too hard for you, then you can also put your legs down, and you're going to want to feel your shoulders come towards the back of your back with your shoulders pressing away from your ears as the crown of your head is lifting forward. We're just going to warm up the rest of the spine. Take a couple more breaths here. On your next exhalation, go ahead and lower down to the ground. And you can flatten out, straighten out your mat. We're going to remain here for a moment as we transition into our cobra. So bringing both of your hands underneath your shoulders. Also extend your feet straight to the back. Allow the tops of your feet to press down and to cinch your legs together. So feel yourself activating your thighs and your inner thighs grounding down to the ground, as also your pelvis, the front point of your hips are making contact with the ground. So you'll feel very strong and grounded. And on your next breath, slowly look forward, not too far in front, but at the front of your mat, and bring your arms off the ground and release. Let's do that again. Charge the back of your legs, activate your shoulders, remember to bring them down, and float your arms up for a full breath. And as you exhale, release. Come down to the ground. You can put the side of your head on the mat. Let's do that again. Okay, for a little more of an advanced progression, if you want, you can move your hands forward. Bring your hands to the front of your mat. Remember, as you're pressing down into the back of your mat, your torso, your legs are grounded. You're not feeling this in your low back. You want to move all of the activity towards the front part of your abs and get a good ab stretch. So your shoulders are down and back, your face is forward, and you're feeling the ground as you press away, and then you lower down. Let's do that again. On your inhale, press up, and on your exhale, lower down. Press up on the next inhale. Your next exhale, lower down. And now let's go ahead and we're going to remain in this cobra position, but bring your hands to a full extension in front of you. And we're not going to press down as much as on this movement. We're going to do that diagonal movement like we did in walking tabletop. So your left leg is going to float off the ground while your right hand also comes off the ground. Then they lower. On the next, your left hand and your right leg are going to lift. As your shoulders are locked into your core and your buttocks is squeezing towards your midline. That's where you're going to find strength. And as you lower down, you can take a breath. Do it again. Right hand comes up. Left leg floats up. Very easy. Very easy. what this is doing is this is allowing your spine to see that these two body movements flow together. You're getting a cross-diagonal activation across your spine. So your left and your right body are working together, and you are feeling firm and grounded onto the hand that you're pressing into the ground. So your left hand and your right leg are pressing into the ground as your body allows your torso to lift up. Okay, let's do it a few more times on your own. Take a deep breath in. And an open mouth on the breath out. Take another deep breath in. And finally, lower down and come to one side of your mat. We're going to turn over on our backs. We're going to activate our lower body by coming into a bridge position. So if you have a block, you can put the block here in between your inner legs and squeeze that together, really stimulating your inner thighs and your quadriceps. Otherwise, you can just float your hips up. You want to allow your neck to remain flat on the ground without any pain or too much strain going into your neck. And feel your hips rise, but while the pressure of your feet are firmly grounded into the ground. So feel your toes. Feel the pinky toes all activate and press down. It'll allow you to lift your hips higher. On your breath in, allow your torso to float up. And on your breath out, allow your hips and your feet to pull you in a more of a forward manner. So let's hold that for 5 breaths together. Squeezing your inner thighs on each moment. Tucking your tailbone, remaining firm in your abs. If a more complicated bridge is in your practice, by all means go ahead and move into a progression. But for everyone else, we're just going to stay here and really activate and warm up our lower body. You can lower down if you need a break. Take a moment on your next breath in, float your torso up, and squeeze into your feet, squeeze into your inner thighs. Bring those thighs together as you activate your lower body and your buttocks before you lower down. Let's do one more together. Activating up, pressing down, growing long in our torso, and coming to the ground. All right, our final activation is going to remain in this position, but you can allow your knees to float up and to hover over your hips. If grabbing your hips, you'll feel them at a 90-degree angle, and just allow your lower back to feel the ground underneath you while everything in your body is connected and grounded. Raise your hands over your head, and we're going to do another diagonal warm-up. So your left leg is going to go backwards along with your right hand. You're going to stretch long, and then you're going to bring them together. On the inhalation, stretching long, and bringing it back together. Allow your left foot to go long and your right hand to go long. Bring it back together on the exhalation. On your right side, pulling the back of your shoulder into your hip towards the midline. It's going to activate the move, and you're going to feel this in your abs, and your core is going to start to warm up. Go with the pace of your breath. And let's do that together a few times. Flexing your feet allows you to get a bigger movement and warm up in your body. But the most important thing is that your hips are coming to the ground, staying in line, and you're able to feel your body start to move a little bit and build that heat as you're breathing out. All right, from there, roll to your side. With one hand grounded on the earth, press yourself up. We're gonna start our practice. Now we're gonna come to a standing position. So I invite you to stand at the top of your mat, and we will meet in a mountain pose at the top of our mats. So, so at the top of your mat, stand and have your feet in front of you. Your toes are spread wide across the mat. Feeling yourself grounding into your toes, you're going to roll your hips a little underneath your torso, and you're going to, at the same time, on your next breath up, bring those shoulders up, and on the exhalation, roll your shoulders down and back, allowing your fingers to hang by your side, and your fingers to spark wide with a warm opening feeling where there's energy moving through your fingers. On your breath up, you allow your shoulders to come up. On your exhalation, allow your shoulders to sink into lower. And pull your chest and your belly towards your back spine as you're holding these items together. And now activate and squeeze your inner thighs together as if you had a diamond piece of coal in the middle and you wanted to add so much pressure that that piece of coal is going to turn into a rock. Let's stay here for a few more breaths together. Remembering to ground down into those feet. You feel how strong they are. They actually allow you to push yourself a little taller. On your next inhalation, grow taller. And on your exhalation, feel your body becoming stronger and more balanced and awoken together. On your next inhalation, we're going to float the arms up and bring them into a gratitude position with your hands over your heart. On your next inhale, let's do a baby back bend. Just a little back bend behind you. Let your fingers point towards the wall. And then come forward. And let's take it to the right-hand side. So grounding down in your left foot. Float your left arm towards your right. You can grab it with your hand and allowing your foot to hold far down while you feel this in your side body. On your exhalation, move towards center. We'll go to the other side. So your right foot is going to ground down as you're going to lightly reach towards the left-hand side of the room. Let's do that again on the left side. On the inhalation, you're stretching long, allowing your shoulder not to overexert, but to remain in the pocket. Tuck down, sliding behind your shoulder on the way down, and then bring it to the other side.